Hey guys, how you doing? So, there's been a lot of news going on the last couple of days from various different places. One of them, which has been pretty big news, especially now in entertainment, because the last couple of years there's been a lot of effing around, and now we're getting to the point of finding out. And this is one of them, finding out. And this involves a discrimination lawsuit by Gina Carano against Disney and Lucasfilm. Now, for those of you out there who may not have an idea who Gina Carano is, Gina Carano was an MMA fighter who turned to becoming an actress, and she's been in a couple of things. But the two main things that I know her from is from the first Deadpool movie and The Mandalorian, where she played Cara Dune. She was on The Mandalorian for 2 seasons, and then after season 2, she was fired by Lucasfilm and Disney over her social media posts. Now, one of the posts was about supposedly comparing Republicans to Jews during World War II. Another was she was bullied into putting pronouns on her Twitter bio, and she just put up beep, bop, boop, robot noises, because, she was on Star Wars, right? And then the third one was she had questions about the pandemic, which, nowadays people are asking more and more questions about what happened during that time. So on February 6th, the day before, keep in mind, a day before an important Disney investor call, Gina Carano announces on her Twitter. Go ahead and go over the tweet real quick just to kind of give you a little bit of context of what's going on from her point of view. Today is an important day for me. I am filing a lawsuit against at Lucasfilm and at Disney. That's important. She added Lucasfilm and Disney. After my 20 years of building a career from scratch, and during the regime of former Disney CEO Bob Chapek, I'm pretty sure that's going to be pretty important to the lawsuit, Lucasfilm made this statement on Twitter, terminating me from The Mandalorian. Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there are no plans for her to be in the future. Nonetheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable, end quote. That was posted by a Lucasfilm employee. So it's almost like that's directly from Lucasfilm themselves. Even if it was just a intern who just happened to have access to the account that day, any comment like that is sounds like it will come from them directly. Usually in cases like this, corporations tend to be as neutral sounding as possible, pretty much like, hey, we're no longer working with this individual, and we wish them well in their future endeavors, or something like that. But going on, nothing could be further from the truth. The truth is, I was being hunted down from everything I posted to every post I liked because I was not in line with the acceptable narrative of the time. Now, one thing that was asked of her to do was unfollow Geeks and Gamers. And Geeks and Gamers are pretty well not liked by Disney because they're very critical about Disney and Lucasfilm with their product. My words were constantly twisted to demonize and dehumanize me as an alt-right extremist. It was a bullying smear campaign aimed at silencing, destroying, and making an example out of me. And that's the thing with the mob nowadays. They like to go in and bully them. Pretty much, they keep behind closed doors when they do it, not out in the open. And when I mean out in the open, I mean in real life. The thing is, I've never used aggressive language. I shared thought-provoking quotes, pictures, memes, and occasionally I would use my own words. Not with aggression, but with respect and occasional comedy to keep the mood light in dark times. Look at your own eyes at what I posted and ask yourself, for example, Where did I compare Republicans to the Jewish people in the Holocaust? I didn't. Ask yourself, why are they calling me a racist? Was there any merit behind it or history of it whatsoever? No. Look at why I was called a transphobe. For making droid noises from Star Wars? Beep Bop Boop was obviously directed to my online bullies and did not in any way denigrate transgender people. It's the way people are looking at it, and they're digging through and trying to. People like to go through and kind of pick their own logic when they see something. You know, I could probably go on Twitter and say, hey, it's a lovely day today. The sun is shining very, very bright. The grass is green, not a cloud in the sky. I'm very happy. But there'll be somebody in there who has a problem with you about something. Will pick through it and find, oh, he's talking about the sun? Racist. Were my questions about masks, lockdowns, and forced vaccines okay to ask and push the subject into the light? Should we have been allowed to publicly discuss those topics at that time without being harassed or censored? Absolutely. That's the thing. You've got to ask questions about everything. Don't take anything at face value. And that was the problem with this time. The propaganda was so much out there to where you were just pretty much name called, abused, just because you question the narrative by corporations and the media. It's okay to ask questions because the thing is, you want answers. Why are we doing this? Why are you doing that? You know, a logical response to some of this stuff. Something that you will just answer the questions and, you know, get the conversation going. Hollywood says they support female representation and equal rights. Why then were my male co-stars permitted to speak without harassment in re-education courses or termination, but I was not afforded the same right to exercise my freedom of speech? So Pedro Pascal and Mark Hamill have, at that time, let out some really bad tweets. I mean, they were putting out some stuff that was pretty bad, but they weren't fired from their jobs. They weren't forced to go through re-education like Carano was going to, which, by the way, the re-education was her to be on a Zoom call with 40 people of the alphabet community. And I only say alphabet because my brain doesn't work and I don't remember all the letters. So, you know, that's the sign of getting old. Which, she, by the way, she did not want to do because she was in fear of somebody recording the conversation. She instead asked to say, hey, let me take them out to dinner. We'll have a discussion one-on-one. And of course, they didn't want to do that because it's kind of hard to be a bully to somebody when they're right there in front of your face in real life. Artists do not sign away our rights as American citizens when we enter into employment. I have spoken to all my co-stars since I was fired, and there's nothing but care and kind words between us. I respect their right to free speech and do not have to think the same on every issue to be friends with them and work with them. And I know they feel the same towards me. That's right. You can be friends with everybody. You don't have to necessarily agree on the same thing, but it's more of character over politics and agreement on issues. If you get along with people and you're friendly with them, yeah, you're going to have disagreements about stuff. That's what makes you grow in a relationship, whether you're friends or married or whatever. The world would be pretty damn boring if we agreed on everything. A couple of months ago, @Elon Musk tweeted that if you had been fired from using the platform X, which was at Twitter at the time, for exercising your right to free speech, he would like to offer these people legal representation. Quite the noble offer, but I would never, in my wildest dreams, would I have thought anyone would take on my case against Lucasfilm Disney. Still, I did respond back. I think I qualify, and thousands of people agreed, but I did not expect anything. To my surprise, a few months ago, I received an email from a lawyer who had been hired by X to look into my story and many others. Turns out, after sending them as much information as I could gather these past few months, my now lawyers and ex believe wholeheartedly in my case and are moving forward. Supposedly, Gina has a lot of information on these guys, especially with some tweets that she had posted about Kathleen Kennedy after the South Park episode joining the Pandaverse, where that focused heavily on Kathleen Kennedy. And she actually has a tweet explaining the behavior of Kathleen Kennedy, which I would it's an interesting tweet to read. So if you ever get a chance, I'd say go on there and look it up and look into it. But she is pretty much going to be heavily, and I mean Kathleen Kennedy is going to be heavily involved in this court case if it goes to court. And hopefully it will go to court, but I'll explain that later. I would love to express my deepest gratitude and thank you to @Elon Musk and @X for giving me the opportunity to bring my case to light. As for me, I would love to pick up where I left off and continue my journey of creating and participating in storytelling, which is my utmost passion and everything I've worked so hard for. It has been difficult to move forward with these labels stuck on me, backed and encouraged by the most powerful entertainment company in the world. I am grateful someone has come to my defense in such a powerful way and look forward to clearing my name. Thank you to all the people who have supported me and made your voices heard. I pray God bless each and every one of you. And of course, would love Gina Carano, and then there's the inquiries to the law firm that is going to be representing her. This overall is pretty much a David and Goliath story. And the way I look at it is you're not going to look good to the public because this is a big corporation bullying an individual, a very small individual. Now, granted, Gina Carano is a celebrity, but in the grand scheme of things, she is the little person. She is very, very small. And I've looked a little bit at the filing, and there is one thing that she has asked for, and that's to be reinstated. And people are online talking about, well, she must be broke. Why are you suing these people? Must be because you're going to force them to take you back, even after all the terrible things you did. And of course, these people saying stuff like that on Twitter, they all share a same trait. And when I read it, all I hear is slurp, 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 because they are slurping at Daddy Lucasfilm and Daddy Disney's genital region. Because a lot of these are probably access people that have podcasts and stuff like that, and they don't want to lose their access because they want to defend big bad corporation, because if we don't defend the corporation, they'll take away my access. And that's usually how it goes. But I think it's another thing. I think it's basically for her to get reinstated so she can get her compensation, and probably as it being in a form of an apology. And I think that's part of the things that she demands as well. But with all these things that kind of go along, Disney's not going to want to get this to go to Discovery. They're going to want to settle as soon as possible. And me personally, I don't think that's a good idea. I think that they shouldn't accept a settlement. They should go right to Discovery and get it all out there at this point. And I'm pretty sure Elon Musk will probably have some input on a settlement because since he's funding the case. And Disney and Elon Musk have not gotten along together for the past couple of months, especially after Disney pulled their advertising from X and basically tried to blackmail Elon Musk with advertising money, which he famously told them to go fuck off because you can't blackmail him with advertising money. This guy's the richest man in the world. I don't think any amount of money could blackmail him into following the rules of the day. But if they get to a point to where it does go to trial, she is asking for a jury trial. And I think they should ask for. I think they should ask for that to be televised. I mean, if you look at the Johnny Depp case, you see how well that went over with the public. Oh yeah, it changed a lot of minds with that one. But we're just going to have to wait and see how that's going to go. So, with that, what do you think? Comment down below, and we'll just see how it goes. It's probably going to be a couple months, a year before we're going to hear anything new from this. Will it settle? Will it actually go to court? What will be discovered in the court from discovery? So until next time, take it easy. Bye for now.